It's Sunday, October 5th, 2025, and it's a light air day. The forecast is for 6 knots. Out of the south, it's a little more than that. We've been sailing, we're 5.4 knots right now, beating toward the Cranberries. So the wind is also more southeast than south. So anyway, it's a pretty day. I'm not going to go for a walk today because we're on the boat. And I can only walk 36 feet before I have to turn around. So, yeah. We're sailing toward Little Cranberry Harbor. There's Great Cranberry over there on the starboard side. And Sutton Island on the port side. It's a pretty day, not too many boats out, just a couple. And Sunday afternoon as we head east. And we are now scheduled, weather permitting, unless there's a hurricane or something that comes by here, to haul out on the 21st of October. And I'm supposed to be over to the dock where we haul out at 9:30 in the morning. So if everything goes well, the boat will be hauled out and over getting pressure washed by 11 and probably in the shed before noon. So that will be nice. Be done with the boat. It always feels good to finally get it in the shed. Even if it is the end of the season. So there's Northeast Harbor over there. It's pretty empty. I can see one sailboat and the hills of Mount Desert Island over there to the north. And we're sailing into the wind shadow of Great Cranberry, so we're slowing down to 4.3. And tonight, the plan is to stay aboard the boat on a mooring. We'll go in and see if we can pick up our mooring. As I mentioned in earlier videos, our pickup buoy broke off, and consequently the mooring pennant that we have to snag is hanging straight down in the water underneath the buoy. And it's going to be a bit of a challenge. I imagine that I have to get the boat hook down about 2.5 to 3 feet below the water in order to snag that. I may not be able to do it. And if I can't snag our mooring, which I don't think I'll be able to, we're going to pick up a friend's mooring that I spoke to earlier in the week that said it would be fine if we borrowed their mooring. And it won't be much different from being on our mooring, because their mooring is, what, 100 feet from ours? So, be pretty easy. Familiar place. Okay, I'll come back when we get someplace. This is Sutton Island we're looking at right now. Well, we sailed over to just the edge of Little Cranberry Harbor intact. Now we're headed back towards Southwest Harbor. We're not in a rush. There's Great Cranberry Island. And there are 3 or 4 sailboats out here, but it's definitely not crowded out on the water today. And it is light air. We're on a close reach, making about 3.5 knots. We did get up to about 5.4 that I saw, but yeah, it is not what I would call heavy weather today. And there's the south side of Sutton Island, and we're sailing west. Well, the wind seems to be dropping off. I expected it was going to pick up when we got out here. we're out of the wind shadow of Great Cranberry. We were going 5.4 here on the other, going the other way. Now we're going 3.1. We're looking north toward Northeast Harbor, and you can see it. There's still some boats in there, but it isn't anywhere near as crowded as it was even a month ago. And we're just about past Sutton Island. That gravel bar marks the, if you will, southwest tip of Sutton Island. Yeah, it looks like most of the cottages over there on Sutton are closed up. I don't see any boats on moorings, and a number of the cottages have the look of being closed up. There are still floats on the docks though, but I imagine a lot of those will be removed pretty soon. The mooring service companies will start taking those docks off the floats. Yeah, and right over here, about 50 yards from the boat, straight out, is a loon. Can't really see it very well in this light, but it is there, swimming along. Well, we're west of Sutton Island now. The wind may be making a decision for us. We're down to 2.4 knots. And the wind seems to be dropping off as we get a little later in the day. It's, oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's 3:36 and the wind seems to be dropping. I mean, we're under 3 knots. So we'll just take it easy. You can see Bear Island over there with the lighthouse on it, the white building. And behind that in the distance is one of the bubbles. It's very nice out here though. It's a little cool, but not bad. It was actually well over 70 in the harbor when we left. It's a little on the hot side, but definitely not hot out here. It's comfortable. And it's pretty quiet out here today. Most of the boats that we've seen have been ferries, like this one. That's the Cranberry Islands mail boat. And then there are a few runabouts. We've been passed by one sort of cruise boat full of tourists getting narrated to. And there were 7 or 8 sailboats out altogether. But it looks like most of them have gone in now. There's one gaff-rigged boat over there toward Northeast Harbor. Well, we were debating tacking around in a minute and heading back over toward the Cranberries before we sail in, but it's about 10 minutes to 4 right now, and we're blazing along at 2.1 knots, and the wind seems to be dropping off steadily as we continue out here. And from where we are now, we're about 20 minutes from the mooring, so I think we're just going to go in and pick up a mooring and be done for the day. Also, it's starting to get a little cool, and my jacket has been claimed. So, and it's nice out here, very calm, but also very light air. Well, I'm on the mooring. It was a bit of a fight. I'll explain why in a second. Before I do that, let's just pan around and look at the area. Okay, this is looking northwest, and we're going to pan till we're looking kind of northeast, east, and then south. Very pretty out here, quite peaceful. Now I'll explain what my issue was. As I said, we can't use our mooring because our pickup buoy is broken off and the mooring pennant is pulled straight down by the lead weight from that and is lying on the bottom. I mean, if I had a longer boat hook, I could probably hook it and pull it up, but I don't. And so my friend who has the mooring next to us said we could borrow their mooring, which is great. It's only been a week since they hauled their boat out. So anyway, we came up to it. I picked up their pickup buoy and pulled the mooring pennant up, and it wouldn't come up. It had gotten wrapped around the chain under the mooring ball, which happens sometimes if you have very calm weather. Currents and everything will wrap the mooring pennant around the chain, and usually you can just pull it and it will rotate the chain and you can get it off. Unfortunately, their mooring pennant has floats tied to it about every 4 feet, and they snag on each other and on the chain, and it was a real fight to get that mooring pennant unwrapped from the chain. And I finally managed, but it took probably 20 minutes of pulling, letting it go slack, and then pulling it up again and gradually unwrapping it from the chain. But I finally managed, and we're now okay. Now you don't want, if there's gonna be any wind at all, to have the mooring pennant wrapped around the chain, because it will chafe on the chain, and if the chain is at all rusty, I don't know how old their chain is, it'll chafe through a mooring pennant pretty quickly. So yeah, so anyway, we got that done, and we're okay. And this is familiar territory for us, because that mooring ball right there is our mooring ball. But there's no way I can manage to snag our mooring pennant because the top end of it is about 3 feet down, and standing here on the boat with boat hook, my boat hook simply isn't long enough. So if I had the dinghy, I could hop in the dinghy, and then I'd be able to reach down and get a hold of that mooring pennant and pull it up and put a new pickup buoy on it. And if it wasn't 2 weeks from the end of the season, I'd probably do that. Anyway, another exciting sail here out of Southwest Harbor, Maine. It was very light air. We ran out of wind on the way back and motored back over here. And tomorrow morning, it's supposed to be foggy. We'll try and find the marina and head back in after breakfast. And other than that, we're going to have a quiet evening out here on the mooring, just actually a 1/4 mile from our slip, because that's the marina right there. So we're about a 1/4 mile from our slip here, and that should basically not take too long in the morning to go in and get tied up. It's almost always flat calm here in the morning, so it'll be easy to get back into the slip. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope you found it entertaining and not too boring. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I'll be back with more exciting boating videos soon.